Hey folks, Jonathan here. Storm came and left. There wasn't much to it. We just got a lot of pine straw down. Didn't lose any trees, anything like that. It wasn't as bad as what I guess they thought it was going to be, or what I thought it was going to be. But anyway, so trying to sit here and make some decisions on what to do on this thing. I've got Noah ran over to a buddy of mine's place, and he's cutting out some front fender pieces that are rounded where I can extend this down. And I'm sitting here looking at our drip edge and trying to figure out what I'm going to do for that. Whether I'm going to try to hammer a piece out, roll it or whatever, or go ahead and probably cut a piece out of a hood or something like that for that design. And but we have been getting Bondo out, and we'll try to grind and hammer down and get things a little better than what they had them before we go to smearing any Bondo. And I think we can work it out. They sure put a lot in it though. But we've got to, I'm going to extend this quarter down and bring it back, and then it'll come back farther and then come up around closer to the wheel all the way around. And there's no bow in this. In other words, it's just flat as can be, and it's bent back, and I don't like that. So we're going to try to work with that some. And the quarter's pretty stiff. I mean, it's there, so I don't want to bend back unless I cut some bracing loose inside. But the other side don't look quite as bad as this one. And of course we got a lot to do between the body and the door and all that, especially on this side, because they had filled in this gap inside on the other side, but they didn't do it on this side. So we'll have to cut a piece of sheet metal for that, put it in, weld it in, you know, just to get the transition. But we're just going to do this. This is just about like the other one, you know, hurry up and get her done job. It's not a job that we're going to stretch out real long. So we're going to keep at it, and I'll show you as we go. Okay, folks, we're moving along. We got a fender well cut out, and we got a top piece cut out that we got to do a lot of forming on. But come out of this fender, somebody had ran a line of Bondo where this two-piece fender and had it really thick, so we had to cut out the Bondo here. So we'll have to extend it down. Besides that, the fender wasn't terrible. A little bit of rust and Bondo, but anyway, so that's what parts are for anyway. So now we've just got to do some fitting. I'm going to cut in to where we can put this rock or this quarter panel extension in, and then we'll have to start doing some cleaning up and some bending on this to get it exactly where we need it and get it right. But I think that's a good enough shape to start with. It's better, I guess, than starting with a flat sheet. So we'll keep working at it and see what we get. All right, we're working on getting all the Bondo out of this thing. No? You've been breathing some of it?
Yeah.
How's the taste? All right, so we've got part of it welded in here. Got a bunch more grinding and stuff to do, but we're trying to get all the Bondo out. Go back with all metal, and we're probably going to run a bead around all, you know, the whole fender well when we're done. But it's coming along. I like it a lot better than it was anyway. So I think we're going to jump off this quarter for a few minutes and jump up here to the top, see if we can get some drip edges in, or drip rails, and then we're going to try to get this quarter in. Let's see how it works out. Okay, we're moving along. I did get this section welded in, just tacked in. We got a lot more welding to do, but we've got it just about where I want it. Like I said, I'm going to run a bead around it. I'm going to do the same thing with the brake line, just because I want something there, and that's about the best way of doing it. I'm going to go ahead now and work on this and try to get this in there tonight. I started hammering and getting my my bead here, and it's a big bead, so we've got it just clamped down. I'm going to cut it out and weld it in, but I've got some more bending to do, trying to get it exactly where it needs to be and get everything right. So we'll make it. And I got to figure out this transition. This is a real screwed up place to work here. But anyway, we'll keep at it and see what we do. Okay folks, I've gotten all done that I'm going to be able to get done today. And Noah had to leave early. And then I had to go on a tow. So I got back and worked on this a little bit. We got her in and just got a lot of welding and grinding and, you know, hammering and dollying to do. I don't know how much I liked it. You know, to transition this, I brought this one up a little bit, and then because this was already flared, this fender, I went ahead and left it flared out. I think when I'm done it'll look fine. It looks kind of funny now, but it'll all come out in the end here. We just got to finish cleaning the Bondo off and get all the holes welded up. You know, what you want to do is get something like this to minimal Bondo. You try to get it as straight as you can get it. We're actually going to cut through here. As you can see, what they done was overlap. This one's actually out, and then they just spot welded it. So what happens is water eventually will get up through there, and it's going to bubble and bubble your paint. It's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. Same way with this. So what we'll do is we'll cut down through here. I'm going to cut all the way on this one and try to bring the body back together even, and weld it and grind it. And we'll do the same thing here, but we probably won't go, it's not bumped as bad, so we may just, you know, put a groove in it, weld the groove up, and that'll, you know, get a good seal inside there. You know, especially with, you know, it open like that. This guy, I don't know what his plans was, because he didn't have any inner fender welds in it, and that tells me, you know, he'd already done the body work and all. Well, you can't weld inner fender welds in after you've got body work done. So I'm not quite sure what his plans was, and it's hard to say. Now, like I said, I'll try to show you here on this door. As you notice, this is not filled in or nothing. I'll show you the other side. Now this one's still welded up, but you can see it's farther in. It's because everything got filled. All the stuff down low got filled, and then it got filled up to here. So they were completely different, and I had to do some, you know, crazy stuff to get the right measurements on it. So this one, it's not going to be as hard to fill as the other one. I can't open it because I've still got it welded shut, because we haven't done any of this. And you can see, of course, what I started with. Basically nothing there. And then here's what we've got. And you know, this is not going to be perfectly straight. I mean, it would take Bondo to get it straight, but it's going to be close. And when it's all welded in and ground, you know, it won't be bad to do. Now we've got I don't know if you can see it, we've got a body line that runs through here, and that's actually off of the hood. I went ahead and ran this one on up here, and I've got some more. If you hand file this when you're done, you can get it a lot straighter, a lot better. We've got it really close, so I'll hand file it and get it the rest of the way in. And then this one here comes up and swoops in, and it's hard to see, but I've got it running all the way around up into here, and it sort of fades away up this way. So I think it'll turn out fine when I get the dolly and start hammering it. So basically, we get our piece that I want to put on, put some kind of an inner fender. You know, we're just going to go in and put something about like that Model A May has. And since we've got the door open and closing, you can see that this is how narrow this is in comparison to how wide this is. And that is why that door gap is like that. It's wider at the top than it is at the bottom. And that's just the way that, I don't know why the way that they got that opening on that thing. Now they've done some changes and stuff in there. There's actually quite a bit of build-up right here. So we'll grind that out along with all the other Bondo. And what I'm going to do is make just a piece of angle like it comes out and over. We'll get it level with the body, and that'll be our new body. And this actually will overlap it, and we'll close all this in, and when I'm done, this will be all about the same size, and then just come in and sort of fade away. You know, if somebody wanted to put a top and top bows on it, it wouldn't be that bad to do, because there's a little section up here to do it. We've got more grinding and more welding to do down bottom, but when we're done, it'll be straight. I did pick up all they had was this 3/16 tubing, and I'm probably going to go ahead and run a bead around there and weld it in, and I'll show you that maybe tomorrow. Possibly not tomorrow, because I've actually got a long haul to do tomorrow, so it may be Sunday before I get a chance to go back working on it. But the other thing, let me see. The windshield posts I'm going to build. I don't like the Duval windshield, which is the one that V's out on an A. But I'm going to build the standards or stanchions or whatever you want to call them that bolt on. And we're going to try to make this look like it's not what it really is, which is like, you know, a coupe or a sedan just cut off. And we're going to build them to bolt on and come up, and I'll bend them on the brake and, you know, make them come up at an angle, and then we're going to make it where the windshield fits in, and then we'll put a piece of U-channel across the bottom for the windshield to go in. And I want the windshield to be nothing at the top, so I'll just have him grind it good at the top, and we'll slide it down and glue it in, and that'll be it. It won't take a whole lot for that. Firewall, what you do is you unbolt it, take it out, do some cutting on it and turn it around, and it actually will free you up about at least 4 inches, and maybe just a little bit more. Then that's going to give us room to get our engine in. What we're running in this is the 239Y block, and I wasn't for sure whether I was going to or not, but I'm going to now because I've got another Y block coming, and that is actually a brand new engine, and that's the one we're going to put in the other car, and it's going to be it may be a 312, but 292 or 312. But a buddy of mine built that engine, or paid a machine shop actually to build it, I believe, and then he had passed away, and I'm working on buying it. So anyway, it don't look the greatest as it sits right here, but you know, it is going to be all together and solid here shortly. And like I said, we'll make the tailboard, we'll make a trunk lid. I'm going to make the trunk lid out of the louvered piece that I've got because it's going to work out right with the width. So we'll have a fully louvered trunk. I sort of like this here, and this is where this chrome went, or the stainless actually went on the Buick. And I've got a piece. I may end up making something to put a piece of chrome there. I don't know if it's going to work out. It may be able to go all the way down with it. We'll see what happens, you know, because I think it's going to be in between the actual louvers, because I think it's going to end up being an even number of louvers, so there won't be one in the center. So anyway, so this is 1950 Chrysler Fender, and that's 1950 Chrysler Fender. That's the opening. We changed it just a little bit up at the front, but I think it'll turn out fine. And we just got a little bit of this transition where 4 pieces of metal come together. We got a little more work to do on it. And right here where it's thin, where this is their old welds, we're going to cut that and weld it a little better. But we'll try to make this into a decent transition. It's going to be hard to do, but you know, we got to transition back to this flat for this door. So, but I think it'll be fine when we're done. You know, the good thing is when you're working with stuff this junky, you really can't hurt nothing. I mean, you know, it's, you know, Noah was talking today, you know, he was worried about a cut, and I said, well, don't worry about it, cut it. If you mess it up, what's the big deal? You got a welder and you got a grinder, you got a torch if you need it. I mean, you know, whatever we mess up, we can fix. I mean, that's the good part about this whole situation with something like this. You know, if you want to work on something like this, you don't have to worry so much about it. And it's definitely not going to look like any particular one vehicle, because, you know, this is all just a bunch of parts. So anyway, I think it's going to turn out fine. We'll get on some more stuff here as soon as we can. I doubt it'll be tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow evening I'll get the chance to work on it a little bit. All right, appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.